Good morning. You know, this is a good day. This is a very good day. This is a great day. And I am privileged to be here with you. You know that I like to start my talks with something funny, but the last time I was up here, nobody laughed. So I'm not going to do that today. Instead, I'm going to set a little timer here, and I'm going to introduce the topic for today. The topic is release. The title of the talk is Open to Spaciousness, and the topic is release. So ideally, we want to receive, but we can't. We can't receive until we're willing to make space, and we do this by releasing. Then we can receive all the good that God has to offer. I recently heard, don't preach, don't teach, only share who you are. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do today, to just be open and honest. And I'm going to begin by sharing my understanding of God. I am so fortunate to believe in a vast God. My God is perfect, whole, complete. My God is readily available, omnipresent, a God that I live in and that lives in me, that I have access to every minute of every day. A God that provides all the answers to my questions, the solutions to my problems, the healings, and all the new creations, a most spacious God. My God speaks to me through nature, through other people, through my feelings and sensations, and through Scripture. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Now, I know that traditionally, Christianity teaches that the Word is Jesus. And I believe that too, Jesus the Christ. The Christ. The Christ that is in each and every one of us. When we say, I behold the Christ in you, I behold the light in you. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. I was with God in the beginning. Through me, all things were made. Without me, nothing was made that has been made. In me was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. Do you believe that you're that big, that vast? I kind of see myself as a little pinprick, and that's okay, because according to the Course in Miracles, God would not be complete without me. In the beginning, I was, and you were. So how do we open ourselves to this vast, loving, wise spaciousness that I call God? Well, my suggestion is that we must first release whatever is blocking our understanding of that good, of that God. Again, the Course in Miracles opens stating its aim as at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is our natural inheritance. Removing the blocks. We need to let go, surrender, release. How much are you aware of the love that you are? When you came into the church this morning, did you feel loved, welcomed, accepted, cared for, supported? Or when you entered on Zoom, did you have a feeling of closeness, connection? I hope so. I hope that I hope you feel loved right now. I pray that you're able to release your cares, your doubts, your insecurities, and that you know you are safe and protected. So in a couple of minutes, I'm going to be leading you in a meditation. But as you likely recall from my other talks and times that I've been up here, I think it's so important, even when we're meditating or breathing, to begin with an exhalation. You know how everybody says, take a deep breath? And I'm always up here telling you, hey, you gotta let it all out before you can make room. So I invite you now to take a breath. Exhale, let go. Ooh. If you want to make a little sound, ooh, exhale. And then inhale. Hold it and release. Again, if you're comfortable doing so, place your feet flat on the floor, your hands comfortably on your lap or at your side, removing any items from your hands. And either close your eyes or soften your gaze and pay attention to your breath. Exhale fully. Inhale. Hold. And release. Inhale. Hold and release. Feel all the worries, cares, concerns just rolling off your back like water off a duck. Feel your body soften. The pew supporting you. Feel your feet in touch with the floor. The softening of your ankles and your knees, your thighs, your hips as you sink more deeply into the pew. Allow your back to be supported. Your arms, feel the weight of your arms, your forearms, your hands, and the comfort in your fingers. Feel your neck supporting your head so easily, so peacefully. And now I will share a heart-opening meditation. And if you would, affirm these words with me. We will breathe in love. I breathe deeply and send light and love to my heart. I relax as its closed places begin to open. I shine the healing light of acceptance to the darkened corners of my soul. I release all feelings of shame and the heavy burden of pain. I set myself free. My love flows through me and out into my family, my community, my country, and the world. We are all blessed children of universal light and love. I breathe deeply and send light and love to my heart. I relax as its closed places begin to open. I shine the healing light of acceptance to the darkened corners of my soul. I release all feelings of shame and the heavy burden of pain. I set myself free. My love flows through me and out into my family, my community, my country, and the world. We are all blessed children of universal light and love. Amen. And with that beautiful meditation, I invite you back into the room to open your eyes and set yourself free. Feel the freedom. Affirm in your hearts, I am free. And now this is a paraphrased reading from a 2021 Daily Word. So again, if you would please, just affirm these words with me as I read them. Faith is the power that frees me to let go of personal control. My divinity directs me. My call to action is to yield to that power. As I yield, I trust that my highest and best outcomes are unfolding for me. I surrender. I let myself be guided. I release the need to have everything figured out in advance. And in 1 John 5, verse 44, it states, the victory that conquers the world is our faith. And those words of release were under the word faith. So when I chose this topic a couple months ago after I was here on Father's Day, I thought, okay, I'm guided to talk about release. I was truly amazed at how I was seeing related terms everywhere. For instance, that daily word I just read, it was entitled faith, and yet it was all about freeing ourselves. So I kept coming across the words like release, relieve, surrender, soften, let go, open. And of course, Charles Fillmore, one of the founders of our church, he used the two words renunciation and elimination. And then yesterday, I opened the daily word and there it was. I release attachment and rely on divine order. Also yesterday, I happened to listen to a YouTube video of Wayne Dyer. Haven't listened to him in years, but I was just drawn to it. And he stated this, it's not about striving, it's about aligning. I'll pause there for a minute. I'll mention that with our recent book study, I am the Word. It was about aligning. So Dyer started out, it's not about striving, it's about aligning. He said, we cling, we grasp, we try to control. We cling to timelines, expectations, and to ideas of how and when things should unfold. If I just try harder, push more, manipulate, coerce, strive, I can bend life to my will. But he says, it's not about taking control. According to him, it's time to give up the illusion of control. And then about a month ago, I just thought, well, I'm going to go into the little library here, our library, and find something on prosperity. And I immediately went to the shelf that has the Unity authors. Catherine Ponder, you may recall, is like a guru of prosperity for Unity Church. And so this bright little book was kind of caught my attention. Open your mind to receive. And my intention at the time was, how can we draw in more abundance to our church? And the first chapter, open your mind to receive. The second chapter was release, your gift of release, an entire chapter devoted to release. So she says, release is a most powerful gift that you may not know you have. It's available on the mental, emotional, and physical planes. So mentally, we need to clear our thoughts. Emotionally, we need to surrender our feelings, allow them, acknowledge them, and then let them drift away. And on the physical plane, what is it that we need to do in terms of release? She says the act of release frees us from that tightness, that tension, and that grasping. So I invite you to bring your hands out in front of you, and if you would please make a fist. And then draw your hands in and squeeze tightly. And then open. Ah, ah. Let's do that one more time. So we close our fists, we clench our bodies, and then open our hands, open to the spaciousness, release, let go of the tightness. Sandra Vella happened to say about Catherine Ponder, the author of this book, that she's about affirmations. And of course, unity is largely about affirmations. So I've selected a couple here to share with you in this chapter on release. Catherine said she used this one herself and had saw remarkable change. So if you could affirm it, Christ in me now frees me from all resentment or attachment toward or from people, places or things of the past or present. I manifest my true place with the true people and with the true prosperity now. Reminds me of the 12 steps of AA. You know, I'll repeat. Christ in me now frees me from all resentment or attachment toward or from people, places or things of the past or present. I manifest my true place with the true people and the true prosperity now. I promise you, you can pick up any one of her books and, outline or mark all these wonderful affirmations. I had another one selected for you, but I'm going to jump forward to her decree. She has a prosperity decree, and there's one line that's devoted to forgiveness. You see, she claims forgiveness is particularly effective for physical healing. You know, all those aches and pains that we so frequently talk about. So what's behind all of that? Who do we need to forgive? Here's her decree. And again, if you could affirm it in your mind. I forgive all that has offended me, within and without. I forgive. I forgive everything and everybody who can possibly need forgiveness. I forgive the past and the present. I forgive positively everyone. I am free and they are free. All things are cleared up between us now and forever. Forgiveness is the ultimate form of undoing, according to the Course in Miracles. So, there's like those 1,200 pages of the Course nudging us toward forgiveness. And, I'll move on to another topic. Louise Hay, I mentioned last time that I spoke that I'm a big fan of her videos. So again, what I noticed right after I selected this topic was that just about every video that she puts out, release is always a part of it. She usually starts with gratitude, and then she moves on to release. And I happened to see one short where she was giving her definition of enlightenment. And according to her, enlightenment is letting go of all the things we believe that are not benefiting us in life. We have so many beliefs that we don't even know we're aware of. It's like what Catherine Ponder said, we don't even know we have this gift. Each time we feel that niggling feeling of uncomfortable, of discomfort, it's some idea, some notion, some thought that we're hanging on to. So her definition says, enlightenment is letting go of all the things we believe that are not benefiting us in life. She says to release them one by one and think, I don't need this anymore. Or question, do I want to believe this? According to her, every single thing we think has been a choice, and it may not or may not be true. It can be true for one and not for another, because each of us have our own belief systems. We each have our own pathway. What may be true for you is not true for me. That's a pretty big idea to put our heads around. That, yes, we think, okay, I have my pathway, but can we honor the fact that everybody else has their own? That we are so miraculously unique, that each of us truly does have a choice? I remember reading in Eckhart Tolle's work, or hearing it on one of his tapes, that, yes, we have a choice, and everything we say, do, or think is a choice, but most of the time we don't even know it. So we don't know we're exercising choice. Anyway, I'd like to say that I think it's wonderful that we live in this time and this country where we're free to exercise this right, this choice, and we don't have to argue or defend our positions. As you know, this last Monday was Labor Day in the United States, and growing up, I always thought it was kind of an odd holiday. I'm like, what is this holiday about? Now I understand it was established over 140 years ago because of the labor movement that we very much needed at that time, that brought so many long-needed changes to our work. But it's also a patriotic holiday. We wave the red, white, and blue. And that's because we're celebrating the American workforce. We're celebrating us. So it's a patriotic holiday. We're celebrating the American workforce. And so if you haven't already, I ask you to give yourself a pat on the back, knowing that you deserve way more than a pat on the back, way more than an attaboy or good job. In fact, I would like for you to just reflect in your mind on your work life, the effort and contributions that you put forth, the hard work that went into it. Have you ever taken the time to consider your own value in sustaining this great country? The taxes you pay, or even if you don't, the contributions you've made in other ways. I love the United States of America. I love it despite its messy history and its complicated present. I want you to take a minute and remember, if you would, if you're comfortable, close your eyes and remember your first job, the first paying job you ever had. You either received a paycheck or some cash. See your young self. Now envision yourself, if you can, I still can, remember receiving that first paycheck or that cash payment. You've got your hand out, you're receiving it. What you probably didn't understand back then was that cash or check. It was a symbol of your hard work, of your efforts, your time, your willingness, and your contribution to making our nation what it is today. And I thank you. I thank each and every one of you. Well, I said I began the talk by saying that I would share some of my personal self. I think I've done that. And I pray that each one of you can make room in your hearts and minds for me and for every other person on the planet. There truly is room in this world for all of us. We're all one. We're all that shining light. Unique expressions of God, each of us a precious soul, learning and growing, evolving and transforming. And now I'm going to share a cute little story that Valerie told me about her niece who is now an adult. But when this young woman was 4 years old, she was, as a little child, she was an extremely inquisitive child, asking questions all the time. And one day, her mother was just about at her wit's end with all the why, how come, how does this work, why for that? And her mom said, "Why do you ask so many questions?" And she said, "Well, I'm only 4. I don't know everything yet." So I'm only 74, and I assure you I don't know everything yet, but I do know that it's been a blessing to be here today, and that concludes my talk. I didn't know it was good. Did it make a sound? Oh, okay. Right on time.